Good morning, Lufkin Central. My name is Jason Hollinger. I'm the preaching and community minister here. And for our time in Jesus and Coffee this morning, I would like us to go to the Old Testament book of Jeremiah 29. Jeremiah 29 is titled A Letter to the Exiles. You know, a group of God's people, um, those that had been carried off to Babylon, in the time of Nebuchadnezzar and after, when you find yourself in a season where it seems like nothing is working out, where it seems like everything is against you, where it seems like you're just out alone, separated from people. Does this sound familiar? What I love that comes in this moment is God reminds them of hope. God reminds them of his promise. But also at the same time, what is difficult is it's hard for us to see, it's hard for us to see hope when we are in the midst of a season of sorrow, of depression, of just separation. And it's hard for us to see those things when our current situation in many ways is preventing us from doing it. And so god God uses this time to say, yes, I know what's happening right now, but make no mistake, there's also something else happening right now. There's also something else that is still happening, that is still going on right now. And so I want you to just to listen to this. Jeremiah 29:11. This is the text starting in verse 1 of the letter that the prophet Jeremiah sent from Jerusalem to the surviving elders among the exiles, and to the priests, the prophets, and all the other people Nebuchadnezzar had carried into exile from Jerusalem to Babylon. This was after King Jehoiakim and the queen mother, the court officials, and the leaders of Judah and Jerusalem, the skilled workers and the artisans had gone into exile from Jerusalem. He entrusted the letter to Elisha, son of Shaphan, and to Gemariah, son of Hilkiah, whom Zedekiah, the king of Judah, sent to King Nebuchadnezzar in Babylon. Here's what it said. This is what the Lord Almighty, the God of Israel, says to all those. Listen to this. I carried into exile from Jerusalem to Babylon. Make no mistake, they were still being carried by God. They were still being guided by God in that season. They were able to go from one place to another and endure because God was carrying them. Build houses and settle down, plant gardens and eat what they produce. Marry and have sons and daughters. Find wives for your sons and give your daughters in marriage so that they too may have sons and daughters. Increase in number there, do not decrease. Also, seek the peace and prosperity of the city to which I have carried you into exile. Pray to the Lord for it, because if it prospers, you too will prosper. Yes, this is what the Lord Almighty, the God of Israel, says. Do not let the prophets and diviners among you deceive you. Do not listen to the dreams you encourage them to have. They are prophesying lies to you in my name. I have not sent them, declares the Lord. This is what the Lord says. When 70 years are completed for Babylon, I will come to you and fulfill my good promise to bring you back to this place. For I know the plan. We may not know, but God, he says, I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. Then you will call on me and come and pray to me, and I will listen to you. You will seek me and find me when you seek me with all your heart. I will be found by you, declares the Lord. Let me say that again. I will be found by you, declares the Lord. and will bring you from captivity. I will gather you from all the nations and places where I have banished you, declares the Lord, and will bring you back to this place from which I carried you into exile. Now we think about this. We look at this. Again, make no mistake, God says, I carried you. Yes, this was justice and judgment by God, but I was with you in the midst of this. And then he says something very important that we need to notice. You see, even in seasons of exile, even in seasons when it seems all hope is lost, God says, I do not want you to decrease. I want you to increase. I want you to grow in number. Here's how I believe this connects to us today. You see, sometimes we can live in the midst of closed churches, right? The doors are closed, we're not meeting. And so it seems like we put a hiatus on everything that is happening. What God is telling us, I do not want my church to decrease. I want my church to increase. I want my church to grow. I want my church to experience a season of growth, to experience a season of expansion. I want the kingdom to continue to go and take steps forward and to be and to do all that I created my church to do and to be. You see, in the midst of this, what we realize is that maybe as everything around us seems chaotic and seems out of control, God is still in control. God is still reminding us that He has a plan, that He has hope and a future waiting for us. And what needs to happen, what must happen, is we, those who are called by His name, must stand and must do all that we can to increase and not to decrease. And we must do all we can to remind those out there that God has a plan, that God has hope and a future there in store for His people. It's up to us to respond appropriately. It's up to us to act, to do, and to be as God created the church to do and to be. That's your challenge. That's the challenge that doesn't come from me. It's one that comes from God. Are you up to it? Can't wait to hear about it. Y'all have a great day. God bless.